What's up, guys? Ben here bringing another video today. I want to talk about CDL Pro streaming scrims. I saw some things in Twitch chat yesterday that I didn't like. Let's talk about what's happening and some solutions so we can get some really good quality pro scrims on Twitch for a little longer than past seasons. So let's dive in. All right, so as y'all know, like every year in the CDL, most teams, not all teams, but many of them will stream their first couple of weeks of scrims on Twitch. This is whilst they're sort of figuring out the map pool, figuring out how spawns work, figuring out basic rules about situational play, all that fun stuff. And they give you sort of a window into their thinking and team philosophy. It's really good if you're a fan of that squad or just in general perusing content on Twitch. But sort of every year, sort of the same thing happens. Most of the teams fall off from streaming scrims, and there's always a legitimate reason of, hey, you know, we're actually working on and trying to have real conversations about tactical things, about rules. So we don't exactly want to stream those things. But there's a side to it that I think doesn't get discussed enough, which is sort of like these pros are playing, they're trying to get reps, but their chat's a little bit toxic. So let's talk about that. So like, for example, here are some scrim results from yesterday from the Scrim Intel account. And look, you're going to see a lot of series that are kind of split like this. Teams are just sort of running these maps rapid fire, trying to get a feel for sort of how they play. But as teams maybe scrim for the first time, you're going to see results like this. And honestly, all of this doesn't really matter. The only thing at the end of the day that matters is your results in actual matches. And to be honest, the first couple of weeks of scrims are always just a case of just trying to catch up. Really, the honest work, if we look at the schedule this year, if we're actually going to talk about scrim results really mattering, if at all, is going to be anything closer to Thanksgiving, when teams are comfortable with like how the game plays the maps and all that. But I particularly want to highlight like this series. I was watching this and seeing what was going on in chat, and it kind of made me think about how to talk about this topic. So it's a great example. I was watching this map. Spoilers, Vegas gives up a lot here. As you see, they're up by like 100 points. They actually end up losing this map. And instantly after they lost, I just saw some stuff in Donnie's chat that, you know, outside of the normal like people trolling, and it was just some really toxic stuff. And like if he's flipping over looking at his chat while they're talking through their little bit of a collapse on that map, like it's going to disincentivize him. I have some ideas on how to improve this process, and this is on like the pro player side of things and also on the community side of things. So let's talk about the pro side of things. I think the first thing, if you're a pro player streaming these scrims, you got to get some mods that are going to really come in and sort of like lay low. Look, not everybody's going to be a friend. If people are being knuckleheads, ban them, time them out. That's the best way to get rid of the toxicity in your chat and just keep people in that are going to like have a good time and vibe and watch the scrims. If you're unable to get those mods or you don't want to take that step, put your chat in sub-only mode, emote only mode, so people are just hanging out. It's just going to be a lot better. You're not going to be looking over to see some stupid person saying something dumb in chat about how y'all just lost that map. They'll keep you focused on trying to get better with your team. I think if you take most of those 3 steps, it's going to make a lot more of an enjoyable process if you're a pro playing along and trying to at least, you know, answer questions in your chat. I do think the second thing though is the community does need to do like an overall better job of just not stressing out about like scrims this week and next week. Guys, these players barely know the rotations to the maps. I was watching LA Thieves yesterday, and Sam Octane literally said that they had the like hardpoint rotations on a second monitor next to them. Like they didn't know necessarily where hills are rotating, didn't know what spots to go into. Like some of these map results are going to be lopsided for a week, 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks, while these players get really used to like how they want to play as a system on these maps. So y'all just can't lose full when your favorite team has a bad day, and don't overreact if they have a good day. And look, I think my next thing I'm going to say is going to get some heat because people are going to call me soft or whatever, but we need to just do a better job as a community, like also spreading some positivity in these scrims and trying to create more inclusive community. Like, look, I know we're all gamers. People are anonymous on the internet. They're going to be toxic, whatever. But bro, sometimes I see it, and especially like in Optic chats, I see it. Just people are just so doom and gloom, like the world's going to end because of one bad map. Guys, it's practice. The results themselves are more important getting better as a team than actually who's winning and losing maps. If you came out of a day, like as a team, and they'll probably tell you this, like where you got smoked on like 6 or 7 maps that you played, but as a team, you realize that if you did 1 or 2 things differently, you're going to have like a much better chance of winning these maps, and putting that into practice is going to contribute to wins. That was a productive day of scrims. And I don't think that oftentimes that people watching these scrims understand like that level of it. They just look at the results and say, wow, you know, LA Thieves lost 8 maps. These guys suck. That's just really not how it works, man. I think a common response, and sort of one last thing on this front that I'm going to see to this video, is people saying like, well, yeah, like, you know, these guys aren't doing us a favor. They're just trying to make money, create content. You know, they don't owe us anything, all that. Look, like if I'm a pro player, there are a lot of ways to create content around scrims. A common thing you see is just posting, you know, clips and highlights on YouTube. The Twitch stream and sort of the live experience piece of this is sort of the most unique. And compared to other esports, you really just don't see this a lot with sort of team play esports. So I think as long as we can do a better job, a community of creating sort of these more inclusive environments for these guys, and also on their end, making sure that they're doing the moderation in the settings on their end to make it an as enjoyable experience for them looking at their chat when they're scrimming. I think we're going to get teams kind of streaming scrims a little bit longer than we have in past years. Look, at some point teams will fall off. They're going to want to work on their tactics, whatever. But if we can continue this period for a little bit longer, it's just going to make this launch period just better for y'all and give you something more to watch East Coast late afternoons, early evenings when these guys are trying to get better and understand the game. So let me know in the comments what y'all think. Not a super long video, but I really just want to get this off my chest because I just got really annoyed yesterday kind of watching this, and I really wanted to say something to sort of put that conversation out there for y'all. As always, guys, smash that like button if you like this content. Subscribe for more. We're going to keep pumping stuff out for you as the season is spinning up. So be on the lookout for that. And as always, we'll see you guys in the next video.